Warning, the Stone Age Gamer includes a lot of bad language. Cover your mother***ing ears.
Good evening and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer Podcast. I am Kris Randazzo and joining me tonight is Intergalactic Ninja Dan Ryan.
Such a fucking intergalactic ninja.
You are. You're pretty zen about it too.
Oh my god.
The 10, 20,
so
30,
chill.
40 is back, where we talk about notable game releases from April 10, 20, 30, and 40 years ago. Has spring historically sprung? Did that make sense?
I kind of.
Did it? Oh, I feel like I came up with something else. I feel like I wrote something else for that part this morning, and now that doesn't seem right. I think I said that last week. I did say that last week.
Did you?
Because I was having allergy attacks last week.
Is that why it feels like it makes sense? Because I've heard it?
Yeah, possibly.
Already?
Because I remember when I was writing it was yesterday when I was writing this script, I wrote something else for Intergalactic Ninja. Oh wait, no, it was the question. I didn't rewrite the question. What I wrote was manage your frothing demand, because the Stone Age Gamer Podcast starts now.
Whilst everyone manage their frothing demand.
Manage that frothing demand. Hi everyone, this is episode 460. It is the frothing week of April 28th, 2003.
Frothy 3, oh, that's my favorite year. It's good vintage.
How you doing, Dan?
Oh, man. So, last week, we recorded on Saturday, right?
Yes, and the week before we did Thursday.
And the week before we did Thursday.
Finally back on Friday.
Finally back on Friday. No, so I'm just trying to, timeline it in my mind, because I started feeling bad the day after we recorded the podcast, and I was like, I don't care for the way I'm feeling today. I'm not a big fan. Got the old scratchy throat. The nose is a little stuffed up, and since I spent all that time hopelessly addicted to nose spray, and now will never use it again, this entire week that I've been, I don't know if it's fucking allergies or if I caught a cold or something. But this entire week I've just been thinking, like, man, fucking nose spray would super duper make this a lot easier right now. I could actually fucking breathe or whatever. It's just, today is when I actually started to feel good. Like, I felt better throughout the week, you know what I mean? But today I was like, I woke up and I was like, all right, I'm pretty good. Like, my nose is still stuffy because it is indeed springtime and the pollen is just fucking crazy. Like, Tip's car was green. I mean, my car is green, but it was like greener and yellow with pollen and shit. And I just, oh man, it's been a miserable fucking week. Just been going to work and then coming home and being like, meh, everything sucks.
Yeah, the pollen has been something.
It's just not fucking cool. And as I get older, it gets worse. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Do I want to go to the doctor for that too?
What, for allergies? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I know there's like a shot and like Zyrtec and I don't know, other shit.
I just deal with my allergies have actually been getting better as I age. So
how is that possible?
I don't know. They used to be terrible. Now they hit me really hard, but then they go away for the rest of the day. Like, I wake up and then like 15 minutes later, I'm sneezing and shooting snot at every orifice. And then like within
the orifices it's not supposed to come out of.
This is coming out of my ears. Every
gross.
Single hair follicle is just snot.
It's so hot. Jesus. Hold on. Let me unzip. Wait a second. I'm almost there. I didn't know we were getting that point this early in the podcast, but Jesus.
Then it's just gone for the rest of the day. For sporadic sneezes from time to time when it's really, really bad. But yeah, for the most part.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm not.
That has not been my experience with the old allergies. What a fucking old man thing to complain about, too. This is my allergies. My throat's scratchy. But it sucks, man. Because, like, I know I could just go to ShopRite and get a thing to shoot into my nose like a fucking cokehead That would fix it for like a few hours, and then I'd have to just do it again like I did for like a decade, but I'm just going to bitch about it instead.
Well, there's something to be said for bitching about stuff. It's a good time.
Yeah. It's not helpful. It's like I can bitch about it all I want, but at the end of the day, my nose is still a little stuffed, a little verklempt, the old nostril. Not a big fan. But whatever. It's all right. I'll make it through, Chris. I'll soldier through. I will bear this burden as well.
I appreciate that, Dan, and we all appreciate that about you. That's what I appreciate about you.
I woke up on Sunday and I was like, fuck, do I have COVID? Evan had COVID. Angie had COVID. Maybe I got it through the podcast. Is that how it works now? I don't know. We've all stopped talking about it, so I forget how it works. It's audio transmissible, correct?
Clearly.
You listen to a certain song and they find a way to give you COVID.
Son of a bitch.
Along with the microchip. Microchip comes in through the auditory channels, I believe.
It's 5G.
How this all works. Oh, that's what that's the fucking 5G. They're transmitting COVID through the fucking network, Chris. Verizon, they keep trying to get me to get 5G home internet. Fuck you. I want you to give me 5G home COVID. Fuck off, Verizon.
It's actually 4G, but one of the G's is COVID.
That's not even how you spell it. It's how Verizon spells it, because they're a bunch of cunts. This is our version. It's COVID. Great. Get it with fucking streaming video. 6 months of Apple TV. Oh, God. Anyway, that was a fucking weird tangent. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's been a weird week. Like, I really have just been like coming home, sitting on the couch, feeling bad about life, and then going to bed and getting up and going to work the next day. It's been my experience this week.
It's been a pretty rough week over here too, just in that the spring break was last week. And
yeah. That's a tough week back, man.
Exactly. And like this was I was hoping to be able to recover this week, but then like I had to spend all of Monday on the phone with like the utility companies and trying to figure out stuff with bills. I didn't do much in the way of yard work. I went to go get new glasses and they did like all kinds of shit to my eyes, including dilating my pupils. So I literally couldn't work for half the day because I couldn't see the computer screen. So that cut out like half of a work day. And so I've been playing catch up for the rest of the week. And I haven't been getting enough sleep. I recorded 2 podcasts earlier this week. You recorded this week's episode and I recorded Theater Near You. So yeah, it's just been constant busy, and then like games happened, and it's been a good week for gaming and a weird week for gaming. Some weird news happened this week, but did you before I dive into my whole cavalcade, do you want to go first or?
No, I haven't done really shit.
Done much.
Yeah, no, I just like pad and snap is really all I've been able to muster through. I did because I still haven't fucking bought the show because I'm broke. And like fucking Advance Wars came out and I didn't get that yet either. But I was like, you know what I can do? I can drop because I was just like I had the fucking sports itch. You know, I was like, people are out here, they're showing all over the place, left, right, and center. It's fucking everything I see is the show. So what I'll do is I'll pay the $4.99 to this EA subscription service. I'll fucking play Madden because I was really jazzed about the Giants last year. So I've played a little bit of the Madden franchise, and god damn it, I fucking hope they lose the exclusivity license at some point. That is just a needlessly complicated cavalcade of bullshit to fucking get through there. And it is really real. I haven't played a Madden game in a decade at least. And I was like, yeah, I'll just jump right in. I'll do a fucking franchise thing. I'll like make some trades, sign some free agents, do some shit. And like every time I click on a new thing, it's like, here's your fucking bonus shit. And then like, here's a 5-minute video explaining what this perk is. And that perk, I was like, fucking stop it. I don't care. This is absurd. This is absolutely absurd. I'm setting all of this shit to auto. Let me fucking trade for a player and just move on. It's very annoying.
Yeah, I can't imagine what if I even like the NHL one that I was playing. NHL 19 was already pretty complicated, but
yeah,
I can't even imagine how complicated it would be for me to try to figure out football. Because like it's hockey, it's just like you're constantly moving and you're not making a lot of decisions other than like video gamey decisions, like go this way, shoot that thing, you know? Football is just like, all right, how do I make all these guys do all these things?
I mean, like the actual gameplay is okay, but like as soon as I booted up the game, it's like, let's walk you through all the new passing options. There are 3 different options to choose from with a fucking tutorial section for each one. Nope, not interested. No, thank you. I don't need to fucking do all this shit. I want to hit the button and it'll throw the ball to the guy and he'll fucking catch the thing and then I'll do a little juke move and we'll, you know, off we go. But no, it's like you got to watch all these videos and shit. I'm like, God damn it. This is dumb. I just want to play the show. I'll get it eventually. I don't know. I'm just bitching. Again, it's been a very fucking bitchy week. Like we had a bunch of bills pop up that were kind of unexpected. And it was like, I mean, not unexpected, but like we just didn't like, oh no, like all these dates are real close to each other. Fuck, that's
oh yeah. That happened this week too. We were all I have you mean we've talked a lot about how much I've worked on our finances and like we're finally back to being okay, but like we had 2 things pop up this week that made us like there was one day where it was like, oh, this is tight. I didn't even realize how tight it was, but like I had to throw a bunch of money at utilities because long story. But
yeah, sure.
Getting the glasses between the like the new lenses, new frames, the exam and everything after insurance, it was like just shy of $300.
Oof.
And then we went out to dinner for my mom's birthday, which was almost $400.
Oh my God! Where'd you guys go?
That's swapped. Sorry, it was almost $300 for the dinner and almost $400 for the glasses. And it was like, wow, yeah, that was like all the excess we had for this one day. Like we're back to okay now. We don't have any bills for a couple of weeks, so we're fine. But like,
still,
shit's close, you know. And this is after tax return. This is after the extra stuff that we had all gone. Just went to bills.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be this hard.
No, that's it. What's the fucking line from West Wing? Like, it's good that it's hard, but it should be a little easier.
Yeah. Like I can get behind that.
It's something like that. Like I forget. He's talking to. It's just like a dude in a bar, and he's talking, I think, to Josh or whatever, and he says something along those lines of like, you know, like and it's hard, and it's okay that it's hard to, you know, to be a success and to make things work. Like you should work hard, but it should be a little bit easier.
Yeah, and
you know, I was like, man, like should just be like a scotch easy, like just a tidge, you know. That's the fucking thing. Like we all, well, I mean, sure, I do too.
Being honest, I think when The West Wing was airing, it should have been a little easier, and by now it should be a lot easier.
I'm reading this book currently about the struggle for black women to get the right to vote. You know, so like it's going through different periods of history, right? It's talking about slavery and it's getting into Reconstruction and whatever. You know, after the Civil War, and then how black men were given the right to vote and women were still denied the right to vote until fucking 1920 or whatever. Like whenever, 1920, because the 19th Amendment passed in 1919, signed into law in 2020, whatever. But like it's one of the things that they talk about in there, where when the first national like women's convention in Seneca Falls happened, like back in the 1880s or whatever, they were one of like their message, their platform was that everyone should be treated equally, and they should, you know, everybody should have life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. It should be everybody. And the newspapers of the time like mocked them. They were like, bah, these women think that everybody should get the right to vote and everyone should be able to have a stable life. What a fucking crock of shit. It's like, man, it's been this way forever, hasn't it? That fucking sucks. That really sucks. It's wild. Like, making fun of these women for being like, yes, everybody should be able to have a job and fucking vote. Like, what a bunch of dreaming bullshit. Like, oh, goddamn. Should have been Bernie. Should have been Bernie. Anyway. So what you got? I'm sorry.
That's okay. That is okay.
This is where I've been all week. This has been my fucking mood all week. Tiff is like, every night, she's, all right, I'm done talking to you now. You're still in a way. You're all up in your feelings. I'm like, I know.
Well, let's see. I finished Dread this week. So that's the second playthrough of Dread under my belt. I still love it. I still think it's a damn masterpiece. And I think you should finish that game someday, Dan.
Yeah, I really fucking should.
Really fucking should. Start it over. It's good. The beginning's good.
I have to at this point. I don't fucking remember what was happening.
It's wonderful. Wonderful game. I'm 3 levels away from finishing Kid Icarus Uprising. And it's
nice.
It's such a painful slog. The game's so good, but it's so much more challenging towards the end, and I'm like, my hands can't do it. I can't play your game.
I'm cramping.
I'm trying my best to hold this 3DS, but there's just not enough there to hold on to. I need you know what? They sell grips.
Of course they do.
Of
course, they've been selling them since the fucking Game Boy. They didn't. You know what? This 3DS doesn't need it, though. I never think
of this shit before. I should get myself some sort of beefy-ass grip for the 3DS, because that's the problem I'm having, is like, it's all around the shoulder button and the circle pad. They're so close to the edge, there's nothing in my hands. It's just tapping my fingers and stuff like that. If I had some sort of meaty grip that I could hang on to. Yeah, you heard me.
You keep saying meaty. I got a couple ideas.
It's gotta be thick. Thick and meaty.
I don't know that it's gonna help you play the 3DS, but I'll fucking enjoy it. So that's really all that matters.
So yeah, that's the thing. I'm almost done with that. And then hopefully the next time I play it, it'll be on a console, because Nintendo will have ported it like rational ways.
God, I really fucking hope so. Really hope so.
I'm on the last level of The Messenger.
It's such a good game.
Holy shit, that game is so good. It is still a freaking masterpiece. And that last area, the music box area, it's
so good.
It's so clever. It just blows my goddamn mind. Like, all the pieces of the stage moving in rhythm it's astonishing. God, I can't wait to be... I need to be done with it, though, because I have 2 new games in my life.
Yes.
So the indie showcase happened. There were a couple of cool things there. What was it? What are the Necrodancer? What was it called? Did you watch any of the indie showcase stuff?
I did not. I was like, fuck. It came on while I was at work. And I was like, man, let me see what games they announced, because I really want to see what the release date for Silk Song is. Because I was like, this has got to be where it's going to be, right?
It's supposed to be this year. We're in April.
They keep telling me that. I was like, it's got to be there. And then, even though there was no indication from Nintendo or Team Cherry or anybody that they would be releasing the date, I had convinced myself that they were going to. And when I read the rundown and I was like, none of this is fucking Silk Song, I'm not interested. Nope. This looks stupid.
There were 2 things that jumped out at me. Number 1 was Rift to the Necrodancer, which I think looks amazing.
Yeah.
And then the other one
one's like more of a rhythm style, a different type of rhythm gamey kind of thing.
Kind of rhythm game. Looks like it's pulling from Amplitude and Rhythm Heaven a bit. It's very interesting. I'm all for it. But the one that really grabbed me was that Shadows Over Loathing got shadow dropped.
Oh, yeah. I still got to play West Over Loathing. or West of Loathing?
West of Loathing is phenomenal. And I talked about that a bunch on the show, but I've been waiting for Shadows of the Loathing because it came out on PC a few months back, I think. And just that they shadow dropped that, and then I was like, oh, okay, so it's out today digitally, and then it's coming out physically in like the fall. Oh, I'm not waiting until the fall. I don't know what to do here. So I jumped over on Basecamp, which is where we talk about our Nintendo Force planning. And I was like, so the Indie Showcase was cool. If there arises an opportunity for me to review Shadows over Loathing, count me in. And then like 20 minutes later, my boss came back to me with a review code. It's like, ask and you shall receive. What?
That's awesome.
So I got that, and I played. So I've been like working my ass off all week. Like I said, today I finished my work, and then I spent some time with Advance Wars, which we'll talk about in a second. And I spent some time with Shadows over Loathing, and it is fucking hysterical. Right off the bat, I was glad Karen was with me because I didn't actually know this, and it explained a whole joke. What's the it's like a theater or a literary term about someone's gun.
Okay.
So,
I'm going to need a little bit more to go on.
They call it the someone's gun, and if there's a gun, it's going to be used. If a gun is pointed out, it'll be used by the end of the story, kind of a thing. They call it...
Oh, fuck. Yeah. It'll come to me at some point. Whatever. Yeah. Schrodinger's gun. No.
It's not Schrodinger.
No, it's not. I know what you're talking about.
Chekhov's gun.
Yes.
Chekhov's rifle. So I walk into a house. Karen sits down to see me play. I walk into a house and she meet a guy with that name. And she's like, is that guy going to have a gun? And sure as shit, there's a gun sitting on the wall. And he says, I don't know. It's up there. I might use it later.
Nice.
I got to this part where, you started on a bus and then the bus runs out of gas. And so I'm off looking for gas and I go to a gas station. And there's a sign on the back door that says for employees only. So I go over to the sign, and it's like it says for employees only. You don't work here. You don't work here, right? And you can choose yes or no. So I said yes, and the game was like, wait, I don't remember you having a job at a gas station. Are you sure? So I said yes. I said okay, fine. So it let me in, and then I walk over to a bookshelf, and I find my employee file. And the game was like, oh, look at that. Your employee file. I'm sorry I doubted you.
That's fucking awesome.
But the thing that really got me was I was looking at the settings. I was just seeing what all the buttons do. So I paused it and went to the settings menu. And there were all these invert controls or something like that. Like those kinds of like regular settings. And one of the settings was just, ooh. Like just a series of O's in different sizes.
All right.
So I scrolled over to it and said, this selection is haunted. Okay. So I clicked it and it disappeared and like a really spooky sound happened. I don't know if that's going to mean anything at some point, but it cracked me up.
It's fucking awesome.
And then at the bottom, it said arachnophobia. And they highlight that and says, you will remove all spiders from the game. But underneath it says, you will encounter no spiders. And then underneath it, there's arachnophilia. You will encounter so many spiders.
That's awesome.
Oh my God. I was cracking up. So many things made me laugh so hard in those few minutes of playing the game. I cannot wait to play more of it. It seems like it's even sharper than West of Loathing, which was really that game knocked my socks off in the comedy department.
And this one's all like mobsters and shit, right?
That's what it seems like. It almost seems like it's a dark mystery. Like the story is that you
a noir.
Received a letter from your uncle and you need to go see him. But like you make the choices to kind of fill in the story along the way, including like your character's name. Like you start with a magazine stuck to your face, which doesn't make any sense. But then you go into a bathroom and you use the sink and it gets the magazine off your face and it describes that it's happening. And then you look in the mirror and then you get to choose what your head looks like, as when you look in the mirror. So you see, oh, that's my head.
Yeah.
And then you choose your name, and what did I choose my name as? They give you a bunch of different options, or you can fill in your own. So I liked the Steve was one of the options for my first name. I was like, all right, yeah, Steve sounds great. I love Steve. Great miscellaneous name. But then they gave me a bunch of options for last name, and I didn't like any of them, so I named my character Steve Stevens.
Nice.
I think it was Steve Stevens.
It's a solid
Something
name.
like that, where it was just like two first names, and it made me smile.
Sounds like somebody you can trust.
Clearly. So yes, this game is freaking wonderful so far. I'm thrilled.
That's awesome.
So, Advance Wars. I pre-ordered this back in 2021, and Target still was incapable of getting my order on time. My pre-order was listed as back-ordered. You fucking assholes. Are you serious? I pre-ordered it almost 2 years ago, and you're going to tell me it's back-ordered? You couldn't get your shit together in that much time? Fuck all the way off through the sun. I'm just...
Fuck all the way off so that you come back on and then fuck off again.
I just pissed beyond belief. So I went out to Best Buy this morning and I picked up a copy. It has reversible cover art. It is real. It is a physical thing that I have, and I plugged into my Switch and played. So it's real. It happened. It exists.
And it's awesome and you love it?
It's difficult to say so far because I just put in enough time to play the tutorial. I had like 45 minutes before I started dinner, so I put like half an hour into Advance Wars and about 15 to 20 minutes into Shadows over Loathing. So I've only dipped my toe in. I love the presentation. I think it looks phenomenal. It's partially voiced, where like it's not like grunts and stuff. It's like they'll say a few of the words and then you have to read the rest of the text, kind of a thing. But all the character animation is like really, really gorgeous. It's polygonal, but it's how do I put this? It's like what WayForward's been toying around with. Like when you think back to DuckTales Remastered, how everything's polygonal except for like the hand-drawn characters.
Yeah,
they've refined that so much. It looks great. So all the big characters that do like the talking, the close-ups of their heads and stuff, it looks wonderful. I just think the game looks fantastic. The music is awesome so far too. I went through. It's not
jarring the style, like when you get into the battles versus the like character stuff.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I mean, not that I've seen, because like I said, I just did the tutorials. I'm playing on basic bitch mode.
For sure.
There was a casual mode and the classic mode. I was like, no, I'm going casual all the way because I'm just learning this. I'm just dipping my toes in. So I haven't gotten to any actual story. I learned the basics of like moving around and how attacks work.
Troop movement and shit.
I learned that one. Then I learned like terrain, how you have to like capture cities.
Yep.
You like put somebody there and that captures the city after a couple of turns based on how many hit points you have, and like how you can move to a mountain area to get a better like attack and defense over somebody who's not on a mountain. Like it's all about your positioning, that kind of thing. And then the third one was about tanks, like learning how to use the tanks that can like shoot across the area, or like the transport vehicles.
Yeah.
To get you over to like the other person's base or something like that.
So you can move your troops. Like if your troops can move 3 squares or whatever, but the transport vehicle can move 9.
Yeah.
Right. So, but you also lose that. Like, and it's all strategery, right? Of like, okay, I can put my troops over here, but when they pop out of the transport, they can't attack. Like that's their turn.
Yeah. So that's as far as I got, and then like it was about to start the story, and I was like, okay, I've got to do some Shadows over Loathing before I have to stop because I want to talk about it on the show.
Right.
I like what I've played so far, but I feel very overwhelmed by it. Even on casual mode, I'm like, I haven't wrapped my head around it yet, but it feels like, you know, when you first play like a new board game, it's like somebody reads 3 trillion rules, and I'm like, okay. I didn't remember any of that. But I'm gonna learn it through playing it. I think I'm going to get the hang of it as I play. I like the idea. I had some fun with it. I love the presentation. I love the music. I have a good feeling about it. I think I'm gonna have a good time.
It's a great story. The characters are super likable and interesting. The music is great throughout the entire thing. It's such a fucking good game. It's so good. And like I said,
I'm told the second one's even better, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like a lot better.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's kind of wild how they continued to improve on that formula until they got to like the third DS one, and then it was like, oh, you like changed it, and like I know I picked it for my starter kit.
DS one, right?
Or the second DS one, yeah. I picked it for my starter kit because it was cheaper or whatever.
Days of Ruin, yeah, that was because
it's darker and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
the tone is totally different. The gameplay is still super solid and whatever. And if you'd been a veteran of the series, it's like, all right, this is fucking cool. But man, those early games, like I said it on our Discord, even if they had just straight up ported the Game Boy Advance games, and they were like, here's both Game Boy Advance games, but it's on the Switch, and you $60, totally worth it. Like, those games are that good, and there's that much game there. Like, there's a lot to do, and what's nice about those types of games is that you can make them manageable, right? Like when I played through Wargroove, I just did a battle a day. I'm like, all right, I'll just do one battle a day, right? And it'll take you a long time to get through it because some of the battles are quick and whatever, but you can make games like that, like those tactics types games, can become this kind of manageable, fun thing that you look forward to every day. Like, oh, there's almost like, you know, the way you're doing the daily dadish of like, oh, there's a new challenge today. Like, what's the new fucking thing I'm going to go do? They're so good. They're so good. I'm very, very excited to get them. I'm very sad I don't have them yet. But whatever. It's fine.
Well, I will say that the $60 price tag, they put the work in. Like, this does not look like a cheap game. At least not to me. I mean, there's obviously the internet's going to internet.
Of course.
It looks,
but whatever.
They should have kept the pixel graphics. This looks soulless. It's like, motherfucker, what are you talking about? If you turn this thing on and see the love and attention that is just placed in oozing and all the personality, you're just being a jerk. Because, like, of course, everyone's always going to have some sort of affinity for the way it used to look, and it does look different from the way it used to look. That's for sure. But I think it looks great. I was really, really impressed with how slick it is. I'm very pleased. Very, very pleased.
Yeah, I want it. I want it desperately.
Where it goes from here.
I need it.
Let's see. Let's talk about some news. Sunsoft is back too. They did it.
Yeah.
They did another one of their little live streams with that dude who just barely speaks English, and they didn't edit it at all. He's just like, yeah, that's kind of weird. I think you might like this. Okay.
I think that gives it like a certain kind of charm, though.
Oh, it really does. It reminding me of that old like Konami E3 press conference where that one dude was stoned off his ass. It's so wild, and they didn't really give us much new information. They said a while back that they were working on a remake. They said that they were bringing Euphoria back, back out, but that's the game they're remaking. So is that what they were talking about, or are they going to release the original and the remake? I think it's just the remake, to be perfectly honest. It's hard
maybe
to tell.
It'll be one of those things where it has the original in it somewhere.
That makes makes a lot of sense. I'd be into that. The remake looks like Yoshi's Woolly World, which I think is a good look.
That's kind of wild. Yeah,
it's a good look for that game. They didn't show any of it in motion yet. They just showed it like one still shot. It's like, okay, that's weird, but all right. They didn't give a date for Gimmick yet. They just showed again that Gimmick is coming out. So neat. Thanks for showing it again, but I'd really like to know when, other than this year. But okay. they showed off Trip World, which they kind of got beat to the punch on. They limited runs doing a deluxe version of Trip World. They're colorizing it.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's really exciting because the colorization process is being done in conjunction with the guy who made the game. So the color palettes they're using are the ones that he intended to use for a Game Boy Color version of this game,
which is awesome.
It's really awesome, and I've always wanted to play this game, so I'll be pre-ordering the crap out of that. That's very exciting to me. It looks wonderful. The colorized version looks just great. Was that it? I think that was it for the Sunsoft.
Yeah,
Gimmick,
no, like,
we don't know anything.
No
Trip
shocking
World.
new, like, oh, fucking Blaster Master. We did this for you, Chris.
No other big revelations. Like the Trip World was probably the biggest thing, but that they had already announced that like a couple days prior. So,
but give it time. Let them get back. Yeah, I am very, very excited for Sunsoft to be Sunsofting again.
They said they're planning another one of these videos for the fall. So
yeah, there's a certain there's a certain thing that Sunsoft games had that it's just fucking great. And it's so much like that early Konami games that just they all, even though they were different or whatever, like fucking Blades of Steel and Contra, I mean almost identical. Like very hard to tell those two games apart, right?
1-to-1.
Just a straight 1-to-1 comparison. But they felt somehow very Konami of the time. Like they just felt like that in the Capcom games, Mega Man and DuckTales and Darkwing Duck and all of that shit all felt, they just had this certain kind of through line between all of them. And the Sunsoft games were the same way. And if they can recapture even like half of that, then there will be some really fucking great games coming out.
Yeah, I want to see where they go from here. Like right now, just re-releasing stuff that not a lot of people got to play, I think is a great move.
Sure.
And I really want to see how this Euphoria / Hebereki remake goes, because the screenshot's very impressive. If this actually looks as impressive in motion, then I'll be one happy camper. But yeah, I just went back to the video and that's it. It was just those three things. So,
yeah. But what does new Sunsoft look like?
That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
because the Blaster Master Zero games were great. So let's partner with some people and make more of that, please.
Yeah, more of that. Thank you.
There was like a fake Nintendo Twitter Direct kind of a thing, where Nintendo is just like, here's a bunch of shit. You get some new Genesis games. You want some new Genesis games? Here, I have Pulse Man and Kid Chameleon, Street Fighter for Genesis, and Flicky. Like, okay,
because why not?
Because
I really like Kid Chameleon. I know we've talked about it on the show.
Flicky's a great game. It's just a weird combo.
It is weird. It is a weird combo. Pulse Man. What am I? I feel like I always confuse Pulse Man and Vector Man.
We played Pulse Man for the show once.
I thought we played Vector Man for the show. I thought we did that for a summer series.
Maybe we did do Vector Man, but I know we did Pulse Man because I remember putting time into trying to play through that thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if we did it for summer series or maybe I was just doing it on my own. But yeah, Pulse Man. Pulse Man's a super interesting game. So I'm glad it's there. I don't know, like I have other stuff to play, obviously, so I'm not sure I'm going to get to those Genesis games. But that was a neat drop.
It's just such a weird man, I would love to know like what the discussions are when they're sitting down to decide like what games they're going to add to the service.
Yeah.
Cuz like if you're adding Genesis games, there's quite a few ones that you should have gotten to before fucking Flicky. So I'm saying,
I don't know about that. Flicky's like Flicky's old. Flicky should have been one of the first ones, if anything. Like, throwing it in later is weirder.
Is it, though? I mean, like, I don't know.
It was like when, like, they did most of the black box games on the NES, Nintendo Switch Online, and then, like, pinball was like 2 years later. Like, what? But why?
I mean, am I not wrong? Like, Streets of Rage 2 is not on the service, right?
I think 2 is. I think 1 isn't.
Or 1 isn't. Like,
yeah.
Flicky's there before. Like, okay, that's a weird choice.
It's a lot of weird choices.
That's I would love to, like, I want to know the conversation that's being, like, I just imagine there's some fucking dude, like, having a fist pounding meeting, you know, and not the kind of fist pounding meeting you're thinking about, Chris. Get your fucking mind out of the gutter, you disgusting, sexy man, you. You know, like, banging his table on, like, you gotta put fucking Flicky in there. Flicky's the best fucking game. They're like, all right, Bob, Jesus Christ. I mean, his name's definitely not Bob, but you see my point.
I do.
All right, put Flicky in so he'll at least just shut the fuck up. Christ.
They also showed off the Pyra and Mithra amiibo. As the Smash Brothers line continues.
Yeah.
And Xenoblade got its last batch of DLC. This I thought was kind of neat. Like, I haven't played any of the Xenoblade games. I don't think I'm ever going to, just knowing my life. But
when do you have the fucking time?
I saw that somebody was like, "Oh, this guy finally got to do his 6th game." I was like, 6? What are you talking about? Like, oh, there was Xenoblade Definitive Edition. Then there was like a really meaty DLC add-on for it. Xenoblade 2, then Xenoblade 2 Torna, which was another super meaty DLC with basically its own game, even sold separately as its own thing.
Yeah.
Then Xenoblade 3, and then this DLC that ties the whole thing together. This dude's been this team has been trying to do the 6-game thing forever. Like, remember when Xenoblade came out? Xenogears came out on PlayStation. It was like, it's going to be a 6-game epic, and it was just one. And then they started a Xenosaga on PlayStation 2, and I think they got to 3 before it crapped out.
Yeah,
finally got to do his 6 games, and
good for him.
I think that's really impressive. Like, these games may not necessarily be for me, but like, I'm always been impressed by them, especially the world of the first one. The first one I want to play the most because the fact that it takes place on the corpses of 2 gigantic titans, it's such an interesting world concept. I love that. So yeah, that was kind of neat. I feel like there was one other piece of Nintendo news that I'm forgetting about, but doesn't matter. Really, the biggest and strangest news is that Atari bought Bubsy.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
I mean, it's a little less weird when you think about it. When you look at it from a broader perspective of what Atari has been trying to do. Like, I'm trying to find. Like, they recently bought a bunch of Stern properties, like including Berserk.
Yeah.
And this was part of, like, Bubsy was one of like 100 things that they bought from Accolade. And I can't remember the other company, but there was like a couple of brands, and they bought a bunch of IPs from them. It was like Bubsy and Hardball, and like like the F Fighters. I forget the numbers, but it's one of the. There's 100 of them in this deal, but they've only really been talking about the ones that people have heard about. So that's
Bubsy's one of them. Yeah, it's weird. Because, like, I get it. You want to build up your stock of IP and potential. Yeah, it's all potential at this point, right? Like, everything with Atari is just potential.
Yeah,
but
they're
like,
kind of in this weird position.
Like, who fucking cares?
Well, that's
somebody
thing.
must.
Somebody must, because they keep making them, right?
But I don't understand. It's never been good. It's never been good.
At best, it's been decent. At best, it's been decent. So, I mean, who knows?
I even disagree with that. Like, that first game is the best Bubsy game, and it is a piece of shit game.
It's half decent.
Nah, it really isn't. Like, you're much more kind to that kind of shit than I. Like, it is a garbage fucking game.
Well,
it really is.
You don't like the old Sonic the Hedgehog games either. That's what that was aping. So of course
they also suck. Those games are also fucking terrible. Sonic Colors is clearly the best. Or whatever Sonic game everybody hates. That's my opinion of whatever. That's the best Sonic game. I don't know,
Sonic
man.
06.
It's just like, but again, it just comes down to it. Like, there are 37 Bubsy titles. There are 3 Kid Icarus titles. Like, how is that a fucking fair and just world? That's how I know there's no God. It has nothing to do with starving children and disease and like all of those things. It's the fact that there are a lot of Bubsy games and fucking 3 Kid Icarus games.
It certainly doesn't seem
If there
fair.
were a fair and just creator of whatever denomination you want him to be, please don't get offended, listeners. Pick whatever your friend in the sky is. Like, there would be more Kid Icarus games.
I think this is an interesting play.
Potential.
Yeah, it does. It depends on what they do with it, because how much attention would they get if they made a good Bubsy game?
What is a good Bubsy game, though?
I don't know. Nobody's made one yet.
This is what I'm saying.
But if they pull off getting some studio to make a genuinely good Bubsy game, that would probably get a lot of attention. They don't have a baseball franchise to build on. Now they do. They're going after what they can afford.
Sure.
It's a weird pick. I want to know what all the 100 games are. Like, I'm sure it's a bunch of nothing games nobody's ever heard of, but like, there's got to be something in there.
Demolition Racer, that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
F117A, F14, like, okay, those are fine. You know, I don't know. Why would you try to make a new baseball game? The show exists. Like, don't fucking do that. Don't try to do that. I don't think
the show's programming for Atari VCS.
No, I know it's not, but like,
well, they're gonna make an arcade style baseball game. Is what they're gonna do. They're not gonna try to make a baseball sim. They're gonna try to do something dumb, like, here's your dopey arcade style alternative to the show. That's what you do with that. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah,
if they try to make a serious one, that's gonna be some stupid right there.
I mean, but that, I don't know. That just seems like the type of thing they would do. All right, so it's Accolade and GTI.
Okay.
So, like, what were the properties that GTI had? I'm gonna look it up now so we can pretend we can edit this.
Microprose. Microprose was the other one I was thinking of.
GTI games. We can pretend that like we've had this. God, I have searched for it 3 times now, and I cannot get a list of what they did.
The Infogrames thing is interesting because Infogrames at one time was Atari.
Right.
So that's weirdly coming full circle. I like that.
Yeah. All right. So like Infogrames there's some stuff in the Infogrames world that is like, okay, Alone in the Dark. That's fucking cool. Ikaruga was Infogrames. Klonoa, but that's still owned by
Namco.
Whoever. What else? The Jersey Devil game, that was actually like a decent PS1 platformer. He was a cute little Jersey Devil.
Yeah.
Enter the Matrix.
Yeah,
Gekido.
But that's a license thing.
No, I know. Gekido was an Infogrames thing. They did. Yeah, I don't
I'm looking
know.
at the Accolade stuff, and like, you've got the Hardball's a big one. I think is Test Drive Accolade. I think Test Drive's Accolade.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. I'd like to see Test Drive come back in some way, shape, or form. Especially since Epic bought Aquarius, or however you pronounce that. So who knows if we'll ever see Horizon Chase, or they'll probably kill Horizon Chase 2 on multi-platform releases immediately and just like, get to work on Fortnite.
You pricks.
We own you now. You're doing Fortnite forever.
Man, I hope not.
I hope not too. I just want Horizon Chase on my Switch. Come on. Please, I'm begging you.
It plays really well on the phone with the fucking Backbone controller. I know that's not how you want to do it. I know it's not.
If it turns out to be that's how I have to do it, then that's how I will do it.
It does play really well that way. Test Drive, yeah. Hardball, Test Drive.
And Bubsy seem to be about it of notable things that they would actually own.
Yeah. Or Balls. 3D, The Battle of the Balls. That's something. I mean, maybe they'll bring back Pele. That's something they could bring back.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Pele game. Or Jack Nicklaus fucking golf.
Slave
That's
Zero.
something. There's some Elvira games in here. I fucking love Elvira.
So it's an interesting.
Anyway,
it's an interesting piece of news.
Yeah, it's man. I don't know. Atari's been doing cool, interesting stuff. I hope they continue to do so.
They're trying, and I'll give them that. I mean, there's obviously you go to any Atari group, and it's just like, man, this new Atari sucks ass. They're not the same Atari from when I was a kid. It's like, no, of course they're not.
No, of course it's not.
They haven't been that company
went out
decades.
of business.
They're gone. They're so gone. But the fact that this current company is trying, that's more than I can say for Atari in the last decade. So, okay.
Yeah.
I'm into it. I've been really enjoying the Recharged games.
It's a great logo.
Most of the stuff they're doing. So, we'll tentatively be a little optimistic here.
Just saying, talk to me when you're fucking doing the ColecoVision shit and do Ladybug Recharged. Then I'm in. I'll make this declarative statement right now without clearing it with my wife first. If there is a fucking Ladybug Recharged, I will buy a VCS to fucking play that shit.
Well, you won't have to. All the Recharged games come to all the other consoles.
No, I will specifically buy a VCS just for that.
Support them.
Just to support the fucking idiocy that would be in, like, you know what? This has got to be our market. And I want them to be like, well, we got that one guy in Jersey. He was fucking real excited.
Done. That'll pay the bills.
I'll pay this week's fucking water bill for Tuesday.
Well, that's all I got. The Messenger is a really good game. Everybody should play it. But we're gonna take ourselves a break.
Whoa!
No. What?
Fucking
what?
Foreplay, and you're not even going to talk about the Street Fighter thing, or did you not watch it?
The Street Fighter thing.
It was like a 45-minute video yesterday of like new Street Fighter shit. Okay, well
I knew that they announced the DLC first round of DLC characters, but that was it.
They did a whole bunch of like stuff, and we'll talk about it next week. It's more complicated than Street Fighter usually is. We'll leave it there. Yeah.
In a good way or a bad way?
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure yet.
I mean, I've resigned myself that I'm probably not going to wind up getting it anytime soon because I want to play it on a next-gen platform.
Yeah.
And I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, fucking watch the video at some point this week. We'll be late with the news. It's fine. The game's not coming out till June. It doesn't matter.
All right. Well, in that case, yes. Let's let's take ourselves a break. When we come back, we're gonna do the 10, 20, 30, 40, and hopefully we'll stay awake for the whole damn thing. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around.
So stop! I'm fucking sniffly.
Hi everyone, Kris here. Podcast listening is free, but podcast creation is not. That's why the Geekade Patreon exists. In an effort to help us pay the bills, we've got a Patreon page set up where you can gain access to our monthly podcast topic schedule, get early access to many of our shows, and more. If you'd like to help support Geekade and keep these shows running week after week, head over to the Geekade Patreon page, linked in the show notes of this very podcast. And now, here's a quick look at some of the other original content available now from our partners and Geekade.com.
First up, corpses. Who doesn't love a good corpse? I mean, the amount of the hours that you and I, Chris, have spent just talking about corpses is it's frankly absurd.
You've got some serious ass corpse problems.
Sorry, that's what I should have done. That was the obvious joke, and I steamrolled right past it. Well, I mean, anyway, if the early 90s are to be believed, the pinnacle of comedy actually involves reanimating a corpse with voodoo magic. And who are we to say otherwise? Honestly, in an all-new episode of A Theater Near You, Sean, Paul, and Chris hunkered down with some mojitos and watched fucking Weekend at Bernie's 2 because, of course, they did.
Because that was the W pick. I wanted to watch The Wizard. And these guys voted me out for Weekend at Bernie's 2.
But why 2? Why not the first Weekend at Bernie's?
That's a great question.
You know what else is a great question? Yep. You know what else is a great question? Is it as funny as they remembered? Are there any characters with literally any redeeming quality? Was everyone eventually turned into a goat? For all these answers and more, be sure to check out A Theater Near You, episode 26. 26? Fuck! I am so bad at this right now. Episode 26, Weekend at Bernie's 2. The SNES podcast, episode 208, Biker Mice from Mars, because that's what it says.
Spoiler
That's
alert.
What a weird fucking title.
How dare
you. A Theater Near You, episode 26, Weekend at Bernie's 2.
Nope.
The SNES podcast.
I deleted it. I fixed it. It was never there.
Very long-ass title. Fuck you. I'll just undo your change. Look, now it's back. Oh, shit, I can't do it. Damn it. Anyway.
Weekend at Bernie's 2 is not a good movie. It's a funny movie, but it's not a good movie.
Why don't we have more listeners to our show? I don't know. Our fucking titles are like a 1920s pamphlet that some fucking dude wrote.
Next, the 90s loved the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so naturally everyone tried to replicate that success by giving animals occupations they wouldn't normally have, like turtles being ninjas, sharks being street punks, or mice being bikers from Mars. Some of those properties did manage to find enough success to get video game adaptations, and Greg and Joe are here to tell you all about how the Biker Mice from Mars handled their 16-bit debut. You won't want to miss the SNES podcast, episode 208, Biker Mice from Mars, Theater Near You, episode 26, Weekend at Bernie's 2.
SNES podcast, SAG. For all this and more from us and our partners, be sure to keep your eyes on Geekade.com.
All right, we are back. It is time for the 10, 20, 30, 40. We have much to discuss. Let me get all my windows open here. I actually planned this out. I think I did it properly this time. So let's see. That's how do I get to the most current one? What are we on here? This is the nope, yes. That's not it.
Nope. Boo. Boo hiss.
This one is my script, so that's not it. This one is that's 2003. This is 1983. This has got to be it, right? 2013. All right, let's travel 10 years to the past, to the year of our Lord 2013. We're talking about PS3, 360, Wii U, etc., etc., etc. Let's see what we got cooking here. What is still going on the PlayStation 3 in April? The director's cut of Deadly Premonition. Oh, yes.
Oh.
There was a digital game called Poker Night 2 that had Brock Sampson in it.
Okay.
All right. I feel like that should sound more familiar than it does.
It's just super weird that, like, poker became this, like, spectator sport on ESPN and shit, and, like, it was fucking Texas Hold'em was everywhere for, like, a minute.
It was.
And I'm sure it still is for, people that were super duper into it, but man, did it fall out of the zeitgeist.
It did indeed. It was real popular for like 15 minutes. Let's see. There was a Star Trek, the video game, I guess based on the Chris Pine movies.
Star Trek, the movie, the game.
It does not seem to have reviewed very well.
I can't imagine. Like, I know you like Star Trek.
I do like Star Trek.
Star Trek is garbage.
How dare you?
I'm fucking. It is.
It is. No, stop that. How dare you?
The hottest of garbage. It always has been.
No,
I'm not saying it doesn't have redeeming qualities.
Nope. No.
But it's bad.
It's not. It's really not. Genuinely not. And you're bad for thinking that.
I just don't believe you. I don't believe you.
I've
seen a lot of it.
You have so few wrong opinions, Dan. You're right about almost everything. You are fucking wrong about this.
I know.
Dead fucking wrong. And I know your wife doesn't agree with you either.
No, she fucking loves Star Trek. We almost didn't get married because of that. I was like, you can't be this fucking kind of person. I can't have this in my life.
You know in your heart of hearts that she's right.
It's the Next Generation might be good. It might be good.
It's not all good. There's like 4 jillion hours of it. Of course it's not all good.
Can't get past the fucking uniforms. They're so stupid.
The next gen uniforms? Oh, they're great.
Yes. No.
I love the Star Trek
fucking
uniforms.
onesie bullshit. Get out of here.
Oh, they're glorious.
Insane.
I'd wear that shit all day long. They're not onesies, though. It's a sweater and black pants.
But it looks like a fucking onesie? I don't know. It's fucking bad. It's polyester.
It's glorious. It's beautiful.
You're traveling through space and you look like my fucking grandpa. This is weird.
Your grandpa dress is weird.
Sure, he was a very eccentric man, but...
Grandpa's wearing color-coded uniforms?
Yeah.
Gonna go work on the car. Gonna put on my orange.
Gonna put on the orange fucking sweater.
I'm in engineering now.
I don't know. I've tried. I really have. Everything you need to know about me as a Star Trek person is that I think the best Star Trek has ever been is the fucking first 2 movies. Like, not the first 2 movies, but like the first 2 movies when they rebooted that shit.
The Chris Pine movies?
Chris Pine. Yeah, okay. That, in my opinion, is the best it's ever been. And I'm not saying it's great. I just think that's the best it's ever been.
Wow. Dan chose violence today.
I don't want to lie to anybody. I don't. I've never been able to get into it. I love that people love it, though. I feel bad that you're also wrong. But
we feel bad that you're wrong.
I know. It's fine.
All right, let's see here. There was some game called God Mode, DLC for Dragon's Dogma, DLC for Dead Island, DLC for Assassin's Creed 3. Ooh, Thomas Was Alone. That was a neat game.
Thomas Was Alone is such a good game. I love that game so much.
Some sort of Tomb Raider DLC. Hyper Dimension Neptunia Victory First Level Cap Break.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, sure.
There's a lot of things going on in that title.
Oh yeah, here's an actual game. Injustice, Gods Among Us. Injustice.
Injustice.
I didn't like
Injustice right now. But us and you. Man, that's a cool game. Like, honestly, I like that game.
I know, like, everybody liked that game. I didn't like it. But it's that NetherRealms animation that I can't stand. Like,
yeah.
Everybody's just moving around too much. I thought it looked ridiculous. The fatalities were kind of neat, but meh, I just don't like. I can't get past the looks of it.
I am certainly much more of a Capcom fighting game fan than I am a NetherRealm fighting game fan. I loved Mortal Kombat back in the day when it played a lot more like Street Fighter. And once they stopped like playing a lot like Street Fighter, I stopped liking it as much. But I thought Injustice was really cool. Like it's so interesting to me how behind DC always seems to be. Like they're always second to the market, right? Because like the X-Men fighting games, and then Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is a fucking masterpiece, and then it's like, oh, we're doing DC versus Mortal Kombat. It's like, okay, word. Like, that's all right. I see it, and like, same thing with the movies. They're actually killing it with the action figures right now and like the collectibles. They're doing better than Marvel Legends, but like it's years later that they're really doing it. But they announced like a week or two ago that they've got a mobile collectible card game coming out because Snap is so fucking popular. Like DC obviously has their own version coming out, but it looks way more complicated and like it's missing the mark of what is making Snap so fun. Like I'm looking at Batman, that like they showed the Batman card and it's got multiple abilities and different conditions on it. It was like, nope, that's not what this is. You got nope, swing and a miss, guys. Sorry.
You know, Karen summed this up for me when I was working at the comic book store really well. She said that Marvel is chocolate chip cookies and DC is oatmeal raisin.
Yeah, I like both of those. I just want chocolate chip more.
Exactly. I like oatmeal raisin cookies. I should make some this weekend. Anyway. Injustice is cool though. It's a cool game. Nothing. I'm scrolling through here. I'm looking at all the other things that dropped. Something called Defiance, Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, but none of that matters because the thing that came out this month for PlayStation 3,
Thomas Was Alone,
Guacamelee.
I love that fucking game so much.
Nothing tops that.
The game is so fucking great.
It is fantastic. I never finished it, and I really need to. I've bought it. I think 3 times now.
Have I, and you know how I feel about that shit. I hate rebuying shit.
I bought the original on PS3, and then I bought the first and second one when they came out on Wii U, and then I bought the first and second one again on Switch, and I still haven't played through them.
I think I have, because like you and I, being the lives that we lead. Right, we're not the type of gamers that platinum games very often, or whatever the equivalency is for
not going to
your chosen
100%
platform.
everything.
Just not going to. I think I have in my gaming history. I think I have like 5 or 6 games that I have 100% completed. 2 of them are the first Guacamelee. 2 different times that I've bought it. That is how much I fucking love that game. It's great. It's great. It is one of the best Metroidvanias ever created. Like I would put it up there
so specifically to your sensibilities too. It is
100%.
It doesn't hurt that it is an excellent game to begin with. But that's Dan catnip right there.
Oh my god! Like, Luchadors, fucking Dia de los Muertos. Like, yep,
Plus Metroidvania, yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, more of that, please. The fucking sequel's great too. Give me another one. What are we waiting for? Drinkbox? What the fuck are you guys doing? Made that Nobody Saves the World. I'm sure some people. I've heard really good things about it. You know what it's not? Guacamelee 3. You fucking pricks. What are we waiting for? And it's such a cool art style. Like the writing is great. It's got so many like cheeky references.
Yeah.
It's just a really, really wonderful, wonderful game. And if you are within the sound of our voices and you have not played Guacamelee 1 or 2, you really should play through both of them. You should
go out and buy them on multiple platforms.
You should. You should go back, like boot up your PS3, try and buy it through there first. God, and they play so well. Like they're a joy to fucking play. On top of it, like it's just top 5 Metroidvanias of all time. Like for me personally, I don't think that's even a question.
Well, let's see how the Xbox 360 did. Xbox 360 also has Poker Night 2, Star Trek the video game, a crap load of DLC things, this God Mode game, Injustice, lots of DLC. Forza Horizon, the 1000. Nope, that's DLC. Multiplayer expansion pack, Metal Gear Revengeance, Jetstream, Castle Map pack. Oh boy, I forgot this even existed. The Xbox 360 Arcade Double Dragon 2 remake.
I have no idea what that is.
I've never played it. I heard it is hilariously bad, and I'm looking at its Metascore of 17.
Oh my god. Wow.
Oh my god, I forgot this was a
How?
thing.
How could it be that bad?
Here's an excerpt from the Game Informer review of a 30 out of 100. There are absolutely no redeeming qualities to Double Dragon 2. The only people I can recommend this to are gamers that hate playing the worst stuff just to make fun of it, or Double Dragon fans who can't help but play every release no matter how terrible. This review calls it humiliatingly wretched. Wow.
Wow. I like Double Dragon. I don't love Double Dragon. I like it. It's fine. Right? Double Dragon's fine. Is there anybody in the world who is like, I have to play through every Double Dragon? Does that person exist?
Yeah, Matt McMuscles.
Okay.
He just released like last week a video. I've barely started it because it's over 10 hours long. It's a video of him playing.
That's a stupid ass length for a video. Nobody's gonna watch that.
I'm gonna, just not at the same time. Well,
that's what I'm saying. Break it into fucking parts. Yeah. 10 hours? Get fucked. You and the horse you rode in on. Both of you. It's absurd.
I applaud his insanity. Perfect. To be perfectly honest. Let's see.
But still, like, how, even if you just, like, how could you fuck up Double Dragon 2 that bad?
I don't know. I've got to find out. I've got to know. See, this is the wrong one. I'm trying to look for, here we go. I want to see exactly how long that video is, because it's in my history.
Took out all the characters. We put in fucking Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. To the Bimmy and Jimmy. Like, that would be a start.
It should be Bimmy and Jilly.
Really good.
Where is it? There it is. Oh, it's 10 hours and 45 minutes.
Dear God.
I played every Double Dragon game ever made.
You couldn't go the extra 15 minutes, Mr. McMuscles?
It's got 74,000 views.
Does that count? Do YouTube views count like you have to watch the thing all the way through to get a view?
No, they don't. No.
Okay, like just somebody clicked on it.
But even at 74,000, there's got to be people who have seen the whole thing by now.
Oh boy!
I look forward to being one of them.
Man,
so, yeah,
let me know. Give me a full status report on how that video works out for you.
I mean, his stuff's usually very entertaining. So,
but 10 hours and 45 minutes?
Well, that'll last me a while.
All right, that's fine.
Battle Block Theater came out. Something called Defiance, Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge came out on here too, and that's about it. Okay.
I mean, honestly though, like with Guacamelee and Thomas Was Alone is fucking brilliant. It's such a good game.
Both only on PS3 at this point. Those didn't come out on other platforms till way later. So yeah, it is hard
such a
win for PS3 over 360 this month.
It really, really is. And again, like these are games that could not be any more different. The amount that you will care about these different parallelograms as you play through Thomas Was Alone it really helps that it's like a sweet older British gentleman that narrates the story of Thomas Was Alone. It is a fucking achievement, man. That game is real good.
Yeah, I started playing that a while back, and I haven't finished it, but I tried the demo on Wii U, and then I bought the whole game because I was that impressed by it. Not Wii U, sorry, Switch. Speaking of the Wii U, though, oh boy, let's look at the Wii U's April. It's going to knock your socks off, Dan.
I'm not even wearing socks. Should I go get some to put on so that they can then be knocked off?
No. We don't have
I'm
that
just down here raw dogging it.
We've got Toki Tori 2, which is a pretty decent puzzler. It's not amazing. Sure. It's not bad. Injustice, Gods Among Us. Okay. Yeah. The Rayman Legends Challenges app, which was the Wii U. That was the Wii U consolation prize when the Wii U exclusive Rayman Legends was forced to go multi-platform before the game came out. So they're like, oh, but we'll give you this exclusive challenges apps to all you Nintendo folks. We're sorry we lied to you.
Because, you know, Nintendo makes connectivity with other things so fucking simple.
So easy. And then Wii U Panorama View.
Oh, man. What? Wii U, look around a bit. Like, what the fuck is that?
That's not a thing. That's what we call not a great month for the Wii U. Let's see if the original Wii did any better. Actually, yes. Yes, it did. Because it had one legitimately interesting and good game on there. There was Wii Sing UK Hits, DreamWorks The Croods Prehistoric Party. No, wait, that was March. So it was really just 2 games. It was the Wii Sing and Pandora's Tower. Pandora's Tower was neat. That was one of the 3 Operation Rainfall games. Xenoblade Chronicles, The Last Story, and Pandora's Tower. It finally got a release in the States. It's a weird game. Like the whole story is your girlfriend is cursed and she's turning into a monster. So you go and kill other monsters.
We've been there, right?
Force feed her their flesh to stop her from turning into a monster herself. Like, it's really disturbing. I bought it. I didn't play it.
Love a good cannibalism fucking story.
Really weird.
Yeah.
But hey, that's a thing.
Sure.
How about the DS?
It is indeed a thing.
How'd the DS do? We're looking at a bunch of DSiWare schlock. Yeah. Clash of the Elementals, Working Dogs, Puzzler Brain Games, Puzzler World, and Color Commando. Nothing of note. How about the 3DS? 3DS DLC, Crazy Construction, Fire Emblem DLC, Lego City Undercover, the 3DS version. Seems mediocre. Yeah, not looking great. Oh, Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner Soul Hackers. I feel like that's something that people like. Oh, the sequel to Dylan's Rolling Western, The Last Ranger. I heard those games are good.
I have no idea what those are.
So much more DLC for Fire Emblem. So Dylan's Rolling Western
just won't stop.
Yeah, it's amazing. Those the Dylan's games are tower defense games, like Nintendo's tower defense games. They're really colorful, really interesting character designs. Dylan is a rolling armadillo.
Sure.
I'm
Love
surprised
a good rolling armadillo.
They haven't pushed those out on the Switch yet. That would be great if they would take that and like Pushmo and get those on Switch. But yeah, that was it. All right. Not great, not bad. Dylan's Rolling Western is good stuff. Lego City is decent. Shin Megami Tensei. How about the PSP? This has been, with the exception of PS3, this has been a pretty underwhelming month here.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad.
PSP had 2 releases. Black Rock Shooter, the game, and TAC Heroes Big Red 1.
Nope.
How about the Vita? Save us, Vita. Nope. No. Luminous, which is not Luminous. It's clearly a ripoff of that game.
Wow.
Penguin Party, Rush Cat. Thomas Was Alone came out on Vita as well, so there you go.
A fine place to play it as well. I mean, I don't know, Chris. Have you ever?
Guacamelee was on Vita too. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh.
Have you ever gone to a penguin party? Very exciting.
I can't say that I have.
Do you? I do not.
A bunch of April for the Vita was a bunch of garbage plus the 2 good games that were also on PS3. So
yeah,
PS3 and Vita for the win in
done
2013. Not a whole lot of mind-blowing stuff outside of that. Let's see if we can do better in the 20 years ago, back in 2003. Let's see what we're cooking with here. There are PlayStation 1. There is a PlayStation. There's 2, 3, 4 PlayStation 1 games. Wow.
Son of a bitch bastard.
This is in the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube era, and we're looking at MLB 2004, Patriotic Pinball?
Oh, man. You know how I feel about fucking bullshit it's Americana in my pinball.
A pinball with a giant American flag on it. Features no less than 7 3D tables with animated backgrounds.
Punching Nazis all fucking day.
Mm-hmm. Inuyasha, A Feudal Fairy Tale, and Final Fantasy Origins.
Final Fantasy Origins is dope.
That's 1 and 2. This is when Inuyasha was airing on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
And MLB 2004. That's a pretty solid showing for a system that
really
should
not
be
bad
dead by now.
Yeah, it's really not bad.
Yeah,
anytime
not
you
bad
can
at
get
all.
those fucking Final Fantasy games in there, like,
Yeah.
that's good. I'm into
Good,
that.
It's good. It's good.
Good. It's good.
Let's see how the PS2 is doing. This is looking good. We got NBA Street Volume 2.
So good.
Colin McRae Rally 3, X-Men 2, Wolverine's Revenge, Midnight Club 2, the original Splinter Cell, Def Jam Vendetta. No, that was March. Oh, wow, that's it, huh? That's actually a really small month for PlayStation. PS2 is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games? Okay.
It's not bad, though.
Yeah, not bad. That's some pretty decent quality across the board. NBA Street Volume 2, even I appreciate that game.
Those games were so goddamn fun. They were so, like, it was nice to see, because even back then it was like, oh, fucking EA, god damn it. You guys are such assholes. And then they were like, yeah, but like, here's the street games and Fight Night. And you're like, oh, fuck you, EA, even harder now. Now I'm even more mad.
How dare you make me not hate every game you make?
Oh,
you see, you're just showing me that you're capable of not being shit.
Yeah.
So stop not being shit all the time.
Fucking street games.
Over on the Xbox, we also had Street Volume 2. We had a Motor Trend Lotus Challenge, Star Wars The Clone Wars, Pro Race Driver, Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee got ported. That's originally on the GameCube.
Yeah.
X-Men 2, Phantasy Star Online Episodes 1 and 2, Run Like Hell, and that's it. Yeah, it's not bad.
Run Like Hell's good.
PlayStation 1. Yeah, Run Like Hell was alright. Splinter Cell was obviously already on Xbox at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I just never got into the Splinter Cell games.
Me neither. I appreciate
the way
they're
other
good
people
stuff,
did.
but
Yeah.
Not my
It's
All
not
right,
it's not Metal Gear, so I was like, nah, I'm good.
I'm just looking at this this GameCube list right here. I've never heard of City Racer before. Which is kind of weird that there's a North American GameCube game I've never even seen, but okay. NBA Street Volume 2, Conflict Desert Storm, Tube Slider.
Okay.
Ikaruga, that's a good one.
Ikaruga's so fucking good.
X-Men 2, Frothing Demand. X-Men 2, Wolverine's Revenge, Splinter Cell, Burnout 2. Burnout 2 was already on other platforms, but still, it's
a really good game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really, really
Original
good game.
Splinters. This is a good month for GameCube right here, too. Between Street, Ikaruga, Tube Slider's actually not a bad game. It just has a ridiculous title.
Yeah.
Burnout 2, this is good stuff. All right. This has been pretty solid all around.
Ikaruga is one of those games where I try very hard not to be the fucking schmarmy well, you just don't get it. This obviously makes me better than you. Because I love this game and you don't. But that is one of those games where I'm like, you just don't fucking get it. This game's fucking brilliant. It's amazing. And if you don't like it, you're stupid.
I do believe in my heart of hearts that people who are very good at Ikaruga are better people than I am.
Tony and I used to sit there in the apartment at Stockton and just do it again. We can be better. We can do it better. We can do it better. We can do it better. Hours on that fucking game, and eventually got stupid good at that game, dodging in on all the fucking bullets, and then I gotta swapping the colors to absorb the. It's such a cool fucking game.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Let's see if this has been great. Let's see if GBA can finish this out strong. We've got apparently a surprisingly good version of Splinter Cell. It's ranked a 77. That's decent for a Splinter Cell Game Boy Advance game.
Yeah.
Ninja 5-0. We played some of that.
Love Ninja
That's great.
5-0.
X-Men 2 Wolverine's Revenge. Oh shit, Golden Sun The Lost Age.
Oh, such a good game.
Wonderful.
Such
Crazy
a good
Taxi
game.
Hitch a Ride is apparently terrible. Yu-Gi-Oh! Worldwide Edition Stairway to the Destined Duel.
I mean, can't shit on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, though. Like, they sold...
No, they sold like bajillions.
Ridiculous amount.
And Disney Princess. Not bad. I mean, come on. Golden Sun and Ninja 5-0 in the same month?
Yeah, that's...
Those two alone are winners. And apparently the Wolverine's Revenge was decent. Splinter Cell was also above decent. So, yeah. Good year. April 2003 was a solid year. No, like,
very
real
solid.
barn burners, but, like, solid.
But very solid.
Yeah, very solid. I'm into that. All right, let's check out the 90s. Let's head to 1993. Let's see. In the arcades, we're looking at the original release of NBA Jam and World Heroes 2.
Ooh, 2. NBA Jam.
Yeah, NBA Jam.
Everywhere.
I loved NBA Jam. I never played the arcade one. I played it when it came home. My neighbor got it for Super Nintendo, and I was like, this is fucking great. This is awesome.
Why am I Bill Clinton? This is fucking amazing. This is such a cool... The fucking... there's Dairy Queen in Turnersville that fucking had, like, the arcade cabinet. And it was like, why is... Dairy Queen has no arcade games, but NBA Jam is such a big deal that they were like, fuck it, let's get one.
Yeah, NBA Jam was a serious business. Over on the PC, we got The Seventh Guest. That was about the most notable one that jumped out at me.
That's a pretty big deal, though.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the NES. The Nintendo Entertainment System, still kicking. We got Bases Loaded 4, Casino Kid 2, Kid Clown in Nightmare World, Lethal Weapon, Tiny Toon Adventures 2, Trouble in Wacky Land, and Yoshi's Cookie.
All right.
That's not... Again, this was like PS1 at this point.
Yeah.
Well, we're just looking at it. This is past this system's prime. Tiny Toon Adventures 2 is a bit of a letdown. It's not a bad game. It's not nearly as good as the first one.
Yeah.
Bases Loaded 4, I remember being pretty decent. Yoshi's Cookie, I like that game a lot. So yeah, that's solid. That's not bad.
It's not bad.
Well, let's go. Let's move over to Super. Why did you reset? Come on, I didn't reset this. I had this spreadsheet all set exactly how I wanted it to, and it reloaded itself. So now I got to redo my dates here. I'm looking for April 93. There we are. All right, let's see. April 1993. What was the Super Nintendo kicking out in April? We've got Fatal Fury. Okay. Outlander, Street Combat, Super Ninja Boy, The Terminator, Tom and Jerry, Toys, Vegas Stakes, Wayne's World. Oh, thank God. Yoshi's Cookie, finally a decent game besides Fatal Fury. Cybernator was okay, I think.
Cybernator's pretty cool.
American Gladiators, Brawl Brothers, Battle Grand Prix, The Lost Vikings, that's a good one.
Not my thing.
Doomsday
I know people
Warrior.
really love those games, but I've never been able to get into those.
They never did much for me either, but I do know it's a name that people like. That's not a great month, Super Nintendo.
No,
that's
really not
looking too sexy. I like Yoshi's Cookie and all, but I'm sorry. You've. How's the Sega Genesis doing? I gotta reset this goddamn thing too. Let's see how.
Son of a bitch.
How was the Sega Genesis in comparison in April 1993? Let's see if you did better or worse than the Super Nintendo. I have to guess. Is it
doing
better.
what Nintendo don't?
It's got 3 releases. Holy shit, really?
Wow.
3? Okay. Cool Spot. You know, I love that game.
I know you do.
Cyborg Justice and Monopoly.
Cool. Not great.
Not great. Better than Super Nintendo, though. I'll take those 3 games over the Super Nintendo lineup any day. I love Cool Spot, and the Genesis version's great. And Cyborg Justice is pretty neat, too. So, okay. What else we got? Sega CD? Are there any Sega CD games worth their salt? I can't believe all these pages are reloading. This is really cheesing me off.
I mean, the fact that you said, are there any Sega CD games worth their salt? Like, no, there are not.
April of 1993, something called Jaguar XJ220. The
Nope.
hell is this? Oh, it's like the car. It's a racing game with Jaguars.
Yeah,
That's it.
Nope.
It's the only one I see. How about the TurboGrafx 16?
I mean, probably.
April. That's 90. Let's go to 93. April 93. Bonk 3. That's it.
Bonk 3's
But
fucking
Bonk
dope.
3 is great. So,
yeah, like, not for
okay.
nothing.
Yeah. If you're
That-
only going to have
there's-
one game on your system, could do
Atari,
worse
you want
than
to
that.
buy some shit? Get the fucking Bonk games.
Konami's not letting go of any Hudson properties. They're going to sit on those and they'll rot until the end
and
of time.
do nothing with them
Just
forever.
nothing. Just look at you
Pricks.
and say, how fucking dare you even think that I'm going to do something with these properties?
All these great fucking IP that would be so awesome if we did something with. No,
We
fuck
bought this
off.
shit. We're going to sit on it and do nothing. On TurboGrafx CD had Cotton, Fantastic Night Dreams. Neo Geo.
Do you know Cotton Fantastic Night Dreams? Fucking ridiculously good shooter. It's also
Yeah, I know the Cotton
ridiculously
series is
expensive.
the Cotton series is supposed to be quite a thing.
It is out fucking standing.
Really?
Yeah,
All
they're outstanding games.
Looks like the Neo Geo had 2 games, Sengoku 2 and 3 Count Bout.
Sengoku is the fucking beat 'em up, right?
Think so. And 3
Yeah.
Count Bout's a wrestling game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in. Sold.
Okay.
Love
Not
the
bad.
Neo Geo. Wish I had one.
Oh, God, me too. I would
I always
love to
wanted
have a
one.
Neo Geo.
I always fucking wanted one. Like, and really just because at the time I was like, oh, this thing's so expensive, it's got to be great. Right? Like, and it definitely wouldn't have been. It would have been a fucking terrible investment.
Oh, yeah. I would not have had a lot of fun with the Neo Geo that I wanted when I was younger.
But damn it, did I want it.
Me too. Game Boy had Lethal Weapon, The New Chess Master, Ninja Boy 2, Pyramids of Ra, and Yoshi's Cookie.
Man, that Yoshi's Cookie is,
It's got everywhere. Come on, Game Gear. Load up for me. Come on. All right, loading. I hate you. Let's see. What kind of Game Gear games do we have here? Again, Game Gear games are hard to nail down, so it's difficult to say that these were the only games released at this time. But in April of 93, I see nothing. There were no April 93 Game Gear games.
all right.
So, no. Not a great month for anyone.
Nope.
2003 was solid top to bottom. 2013 had really good PS3 downloadable games and not much else. 1993, kind of a crapshoot. Very disappointing
Yeah.
in you, 1993.
Yeah.
All right, let's
I
head down
expect
to
better out of you 90s.
the 40s. What is going on in
In
1983?
1943. Well, there's a guy in Germany you should know about.
Not a lot of video games, though.
No, not a ton. A few, though. Shockingly, Atari was still putting shit out somehow in the 40s. It's crazy.
Released the documentary Wolfenstein 3D.
Yep.
Let's see. The arcade saw the U.S. release of Mappy and possibly Q*bert's Cubes. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, these are all going to reload too, aren't they? You son of a whore.
Of course they are.
Of course they are. Go nuts. Let's see. Oh, wait. No, but
Unprofessional
they're reloading
bullshit.
right where they're supposed to.
Oh,
Okay,
good.
for the Atari 2600, in April, we have Galaxian, MASH, No Escape, Oink, Polaris, Real Sports Soccer, Real Sports Tennis, Sky Skipper, Smurfs Rescue in Gargamel's Castle, Strawberry Shortcake, and Zaxxon.
I really like a couple of those. I really like Zaxxon.
I don't know that I like the Atari version of Zaxxon, but
I don't know that I don't.
yeah, I guess I don't know that I don't either. What is?
I mean, when I'm thinking about it, I am definitely thinking about the ColecoVision version, which is fucking great.
The 2600 version is not the ColecoVision version. So the 2600 version, they changed the viewpoint to behind instead of trying to go for the isometric thing because it's the Atari 2600.
Sure.
It works well enough. It's not. It is an adaptation. It is a bold move. They tried their best. Galaxian 2600. I feel like I remember liking that one. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty solid port of Galaxian, considering that it's on the 2600. You know, the bugs fly down at you in decent patterns. It's a pretty solid conversion. I never played MASH. The Real Sports Soccer is pretty cool. Real Sports Tennis is pretty fun. Skyskipper is more interesting than good, but it's it's a thing.
How is that Smurfs game? Because again, ColecoVision Smurfs is dope.
had the Smurfs for sure. What was this Smurfs one like? I can't imagine this is all that great. You know what? It actually doesn't look that different from the Smurf ColecoVision game. It is still a side-scrolling platformer, and that's
awesome.
It's trying its best. That's not too shabby. It's not side-scrolling. It's single screen, but it's very Pitfall-ish vibes, Pitfall 2-ish vibes out of this one. No,
that's all right.
Odyssey 2 had one release, Killer Bees. It was just a bunch of killer bees in a box. April 93 on the
very bad seller.
Intellivision had Frogger, Nova Blast, and Truckin'.
Ooh, Truckin'. Is it based on the Grateful Dead song?
Yes.
That is a Grateful Dead song.
Making that up.
I'm not.
Atari 5200 got one release, Real Sports Tennis, and your precious ColecoVision got Space Panic, and that's it.
How dare you fucking say that with such disdain in your voice? My precious ColecoVision. ColecoVision's fucking great.
I didn't mean the disdain. It's
You're just tired and bitchy now?
I'm just sleepy, yeah. No, I have nothing against the ColecoVision.
ColecoVision rules.
I'm sure Space Panic is great.
I'm sure it is.
What does it look like? Space Panic, Coleco. It's got a bunch of ladders, like Donkey Kong.
There
like Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
Okay. Yeah, it looks neat.
All right.
Good job. We did it. We survived.
We did.
That's the 10, 20, 30, 40. That was one really good year in there.
There was one really good year.
Yeah, the 20 was quite solid. That was some good stuff. The rest of them,
a really good year, and then a bunch of average at best shit.
Except PS3 getting Thomas Was Alone and Guacamelee.
Yeah.
Sorry about that though. Woo, sorry about the yawn. Yeah.
Are you though? Are you?
Not really.
Sorry.
I'm ready for bed.
All right.
Well, that was fun. That's our show. Join us next week when we will be hitting up the next starter kit, this time for the Xbox 360.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, I usually start these way early. Haven't even looked at it yet.
I haven't either, but I don't think I don't think 360 games are expensive yet, so this might be a really fun one. Because there's a lot of good stuff on that platform.
Yeah, I have to do some work, though. I have to do some research.
Yeah.
Because this was my play Call of Duty with my friend from Florida machine. And it was also the really disappointing Alien game machine, which made me want to fucking throw it out the window.
So you'll definitely be recommending that one.
Oh, 100%. Just because that game has to be like 50 cents. Because if you pay any more than that, you're an asshole.
Phenomenal. Well, we're on most social media platforms, and if you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts, as well as all manner of other fun stuff, like a link to our namesake, StoneAgeGamer.com, and more useful links than you can shake a joystick at. If you'd like to get early access to this show's episodes, as well as a bevy of other shows on the Geekade Podcast Network, check out our Patreon. Also linked to in the show notes. It helps keep the show running week after week, and all our patrons are loved and appreciated. This show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by Banjo Guy Ollie. You can learn all about his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in the show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our intrepid editor, Evan, for making this show listenable for all you folks, and we'd like to thank all you folks for listening in the first place. That is it, everybody. On behalf of Dan and myself, keep playing games.